Hello, it's Rachel and I'm here for my March update. So the first week of March has come to an end. It is now Sunday afternoon and not much more time for stitching, so I thought I'd get the first segment of my update done today. I've only worked on 2 projects this week, so the first one is this one here. So this is Wolf by RTO. Is it called that? Yeah, it's called Wolf by RTO. And this one, like some of the other ones I've been talking about over the last couple of months, was a 2020 start for Stitch Mania, meaning that it had, I think, about 500 stitches in, and then it was put away until this year, really, so that I could get some finishes on my other projects. So it doesn't look like a whole lot of anything, although it's had probably about another 500 stitches just on the moon. So not a lot to see really, and a lot of those stitches are that it's like an off-white colour. It's actually a blue colour, but it just looks white there. But when you see the floss together, it looks to have a blue tone to it. So this has, as I say, about 500 stitches. I've got, I think, another 100 stitches to do for a Magical Stitches challenge, and then that will most likely go away again for this month. But it has been out and it's getting worked on, and it's on a frame, so that's that one. And it's been stitched on 28 count Lugana. It's I think it's 14 count Ada that comes with the kit. Yeah, it will be if I'm, or am I stitching on 32? Actually, yeah, I'm going to correct myself. That is 32 count. So this must be on 16 count, the way it comes. Then the only other project I've stitched on has been for my 100-day challenge, so Fairytale Town. And I'm on to the next section. So I left off at the boat. Yeah, so I've done all this of the next house. This next house goes on quite a way. A lot of the water, the path, which the path is quite detailed and has quite a number of colour changes, so it does take a little bit longer, and then the steps coming down as well. So it's not quite as much as I wanted to have done, but I mean, it has only been a week, so it's several thousand stitches, but I don't know. I think I'm always disappointed when it's a work week and I don't get much done. In fact, speaking of work week, I do have one more project, which is my work project. So let me get that out. And I bought a grime guard for this now as well. I'm not sure it's any better than the ones for the Q-snap, because it still does cover quite a lot of the frame. But I've got onto the chick now, and I think, yeah, all the stitching is done at the top on the Pussy Willow and those leaves, but it's not all back stitch. There's a little bit of back stitch on that side. I'm not sure whether you'll be able to see it, but I've started on the chick, and I think it's about 25% done, something like that. It's not a massive design, and this one is on 28 count. So that is everything I've worked on this week, and I will see you again for the week 2 update. Hello, it is the end of the second week of March, so I'm here for my stitchy update for this week. I've worked on 3 projects. One for Magical Stitches, one for my 100-day challenge, and my work project. So I'll start with my work project. This is how it's looking. I haven't made that much progress this week, I don't think. But yeah, I've had a busy week at work, so there have been breaks and lunch times that I've just had to work through instead of doing any stitching. So on my last clip I thought I'd finished all the little branches and the greenery, but no, I had not. I'd missed a few bits, and I have backstitched, so I stitched the missing parts and then I've backstitched it all too. And I've done some on the chick. His little eye is going to go here and his beak here, so he's facing that way. But I'm making steady progress on it, you know, I'm doing what I can with it being at work, so time is limited really. Then for magical stitches I worked on Merejka's December, and this is where I am on this project, and I do love this one, it really is pretty. So I added some stitching over here, I filled in some gaps here. I actually had to take out some stitches on the berries because I'd stitched one of the symbols in the wrong colour, and I couldn't understand, you know, I'd been looking at it and clearly it looked fine because nobody's put in the comments either that looks odd, but the darkest colour I'd actually stitched in green, and because the rest of the berry shape was fine, it kind of looked fine. It was only when I went to do back stitching on it, I was like, this isn't right, something isn't right, and I realised what I'd done. So it's all correct now, and I'm not sure you'll be able to see the back stitching or not, but I did some back stitching around those berries. How I'd made the mistake is the symbol for that darkest colour of red was a number 2, and so I'd gone to the threads and picked up number 2 rather than reading the symbol, which was number 9 on the threads or something like that. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'd done, and because it's so busy in that area I just hadn't noticed until I was doing the back stitch. And then the final one for this week, not much progress on this one either for this week really compared to other weeks. I've had a lot going on at work this week. I've had practical exams with the students, I've had a late night where parents were coming in for an event, so yeah, it's just been tiring. By the time I've got home and eaten, because I don't tend to have time to eat through the school day, yeah, I'm just too tired and my eyes are too tired, so not a lot of progress, but I have worked on it over the weekend. I got the little boat and the small jetty is now back stitched. I've done some back stitching on this part of the house, and I've stitched, oh yeah, I have put all this area in actually, filled in the roof over here and started this area. Oh yeah, and I did this as well, all these flowers and greenery, and quite a bit on the water. Oh, maybe I have done a fair bit actually. Yeah, probably about 2,000 stitches, which, you know, it's okay. I've actually hit 45,000 stitches on the 100-day challenge. So I have now got 5,000 stitches left before the 11th of April, which I think is about 4 weeks, is it? 4 weeks time. So that's not bad. So I've stayed on track, and I'm actually quite surprised that I have been able to do this through working, but yeah, we're on track. So we'll see what next week brings. All right, bye for now. Hello again. Well, another week has gone by, so let's have a look at what I've been working on. So, Fairytale Town, very close to the end of the challenge now, the 100-day challenge. So I've done quite a lot on this house over the last week, and I'm now up to, I think, 48,000 stitches. So I've only got 2,000 stitches to go, and there's still a couple of weeks left on the challenge. So that's hopefully not a problem at all. I do have a very busy work week ahead, but then I also have Easter holidays coming up, so I should be able to meet that challenge no problem. So I'm still amazed that I've been able to do that whilst working full time, so I'm quite proud of that as an achievement. And I think I've just hit 70% of the pattern overall as well, so although there's still about 30,000 stitches left, that's a significant amount of progress this year, so I'm very happy about that. I've also worked on Royal Holiday this week, so this is coming along nicely. I worked on this part here, across here, and bringing these sash parts of her dress down. So yeah, that's I think I've put in, no, I don't think I know, I put in 1,020 stitches. I was doing it for magical stitches, I only needed to do 200, but I'm also trying to catch up with some of my whip go goals, and I think this was one of the first ones to come up in the year. And although I did use it for magical stitches earlier in the year, I didn't add up those stitches and count them towards my whip go goals. So my whip go goals are, I think I put 3,000 stitches for each. So now that Fairytale Town is closer to the 50,000 stitches for the 100-day challenge, I can focus on getting some of these whip go goals completed and yeah, getting those marked off. So after that, also for magical stitches, I worked on this one, which is Parisian bicycle by Dimensions, and I put in some stitches across here, and then the start of this lettering here, and that was just 200 stitches for that one. But I really like this piece. I do want to make some more progress, especially now I've just started on those little flowers. That wasn't this month, it was last month when I worked on it. But it would be nice to start stitching some of the other colours on the design. So that's that one. And the final one for this week is the work project. It has been quite busy at work. It always is at this time of year, but I have done some, made some progress on it. So the little chick is looking more like a little chick because I've got his eye in and his beak in. I do need to put a French knot in his eye. But yeah, that's looking good. So that is all the stitching for this month. I do have a few purchases, so I'll go and get those for you now. So the things that I've bought are kits by Magic Needle. So I'll just show them to you. The first one is called Autumn in the Mountains. So I thought that was really pretty. I love autumn colours. And then I got a companion piece to that, which I also thought was really pretty. Same kind of colours, so they're going to complement each other quite well, I think. That second one's called Autumn Watercolour. And the good thing about Magic Needle is if you email the company, they will send you an electronic chart for Cross Stitch Saga, so that's really helpful. I did also pick up the second peacock design, so I bought one, was it last month or maybe January, that had peacocks on, and I said I wanted this one as well, so I found it and bought this one. It's just called Peacocks, this one. And they've just come out with some new releases that I really liked. So I bought 3 out of 4 designs from this release. There's some more coming as well that I really like, so we'll have to see if I get any of those. But this one, The Sea Calls to Me. So I thought that was really pretty. Then this is Hello Winter. And the last one, I think this is my favourite one. This is called Charming Provence. But I really liked the lacy look of this one. Obviously, there's going to be quite a lot of backstitch there. So there is a 4th one that has sunflowers on. I've left that one for now. I might go back and get it at some point, but they do have some newer designs coming out that I also really like. So we'll have to see which ones I get, if any at all, because I've got quite a lot of new purchases this year to start stitching. So that is all for now, and I'll check in again next week. Well, it is the end of March, so I'm sharing the last week of March's stitching with you. The first one is a Magical Stitches challenge. This is, it's called Waiting for Neptune. It's is that a Fleur de Lis kit, which is Anchor, and it's a beautiful design. It was one of the ones I started for Stitch Mania that hasn't been out since. So I've put in 200 stitches for this one, so it's just really the flowers at the top, and there's quite a lot of half stitches that are back stitched, and then you can barely see them, but when the back stitch is on, I'm guessing you're going to see them. There's some bubbles in the background, and then there's mermaids below them. I will put in a picture at the side so that you can see what it looks like. It is very hard to find this kit. I struggled to even find one to look for a picture that I can put on the screen. So good luck if you're looking for it. I did find it on eBay, the one that I've got. But it's not going to be easy stitching because it's Anchor, and if you've been on my videos before, you'll know that I often whinge about the fractional back stitching that Anchor seems to put into everything. So that's not going to be fun, but I'm going to do it as I go along. Then I have Cute Witch that I worked on again for Magical Stitches. There was about 200 stitches went into here. I worked on the pumpkin, filled in some of this. I'm not sure if I did this bit or not, maybe, but I definitely did the dark areas around the kitten's paws. So there's not so much of this one to go. And it's a really nice design. I still really love it. It's been a while since I started this one, probably several years ago now, but we'll get there with it. Hopefully this year, but I think I've said that for the last 2 years. Then my work project, there's barely any stitching on this one. At the end of term at this time of year, because it's exam time of year, there's just not time to work on anything you want to do in breaks and lunchtimes. So it has a little bit. I've done the half stitches in this area. I've done some work on the chick, but yeah, not nearly as much as I would have liked to have done, sadly. So I may work on it over the Easter holidays. We'll see what the Magical Stitches challenges bring, and see if there's scope to fit it in there. And then the last one I've worked on is Teresa Wentzler's The Castle. Again, for magical stitches, and again about 200 stitches, just over. I finished a thread down here, one of these blue ones, I'm not sure which one it was, maybe this one. And then I worked on the dragon's face. I filled in the centre here, put his eye in, did some stitching around here, so that's almost complete. There's a little bit over here to do. But it's taking shape slowly but surely, and this is one of the ones that was one of the 2020 Stitch Mania pieces, so it was put away whilst other pieces were getting finished off. So that's it, no work on Fairytale Town this week. I've only got about 2,000 stitches to go before the 11th of April, so I've got ample time to do those, and I'll probably just get on with that this week. And yeah, that's everything. It's been a busy month at work, but I think I've done well with the stitching given the time I've had. Yeah, so I do have a few more purchases, so if you'd like to see those, hang on and I'll go and get them. Alright, I'm back with my crazy spending. So the first one is an Abris art kit, but I just really liked this one. And it is 14 count Ada, 24 by 20 centimetres, which is 9.4 by 7.8 inches, and it's called In the Arms of Winter. So it's cute. So I liked that. Then I also got this one by Abris Art, and both of these were off an Etsy seller. That I really liked it, and I'd not seen either of these kits before. And this one is called Lace of the Invisible World, and it is 26 by 25 centimetres or 10.2 by 9.8 inches. So I thought it was really pretty, and I may add some sparkle into it on the spider web. I was thinking about that when I saw it, so we'll see. Then this one is by, oh, where's the English? MP Studio. I didn't see the English, but I remembered. It's MP Studio. And I thought this was gorgeous. So I'm just trying to look for the name. I can't remember what it was called. Let me see if I can find a name, which requires glasses. No, I can't see it. I will find out what it's called in English and put it on the screen. It does have some English on here. It's 27 by 20 centimetres, which is 10 5/8 by 8 inches. I think it's on 16 count fabric. So that's that one. Then I have, let me see. So I have some kits by Oven. This is the first one, called Winter Gifts. And this one was on sale. It's 23 by 23 centimetres. It doesn't have inches on it. Just looking for the 16 count. So I got fabric. And then two other ones. So this one was a little pricey for me, but I just really loved it. I'm not sure if it's a new one or not, but I hadn't seen it before. I just thought the dolphins and the colours of the water and the sky were really pretty. It's 40 by 29 centimetres on 14 count fabric. So there's that. Oh, boat trips is what it's called. So it's that one, and the last one by Oven is called In the Winter Forest. It's 20 by 26 centimetres and it's on 16 count fabric. And again, it's the colours that draw me to things. I mean, I do love deer and nature, but the colours are just stunning. And then I'd seen, oh, see, I do have one more Abris art. I put them together because they've both got deer on. So this is called Forest Guard, and it's another one with deer. And this one was from Cross Stitch Corner in Germany, along with this one here. And they kind of look like they go together, but they are completely different sizes. This one's a lot longer. So this Abris art one is 24 by 42 centimetres or 7.8 by 9.8. But I think it's going to look really nice. Then some RTO kits. I've actually had these ones for a while and I forgot to show them. This one is called Pink Dreams and it's been on my wish list for ages. I just think it's really pretty. And that is 30.5 by 24.5 centimetres. It's on a grey fabric, 14 count grey fabric. And this one, which is called Spring Has Come, and it is 20.5 by 24 centimetres. And the fabric, 16 count. And this one, another one that's been on my wish list for, gosh, since it came out, I think. And there was another larger piece that came out with this one, and I really like that one too, but I think this is my favourite. This is on 14 count fabric. It's called Listening to the Silence, and it's 25.5 by 32 centimetres. And the last one, this is called See You in a New Day. And I really love this one. I think it's very thought-provoking. So you can, I don't know, I look at it and I'm kind of trying to read a story into who this girl is and why she's dressed in black, but there's like the sort of angel outfit on the hanging there. So I'm not sharing my thoughts on it. You can read your own story into it, but it's 23 by 30 centimetres and it's on 16 count white. So that is everything for this month, and I will see you, gosh, at the end of April. Isn't the month flying by fast? All right, have a lovely, healthy, safe, stitchy month, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.